Enjoy the show. I want to see too.
Welcome to Lugnutz.
And we're pop locking and dropping. Your Honor, I find that a breach of contract. What's with the Swiss Army car? Propped up, popped up headlights. You know what? We're always going to release a manual transmission.
He's doing the tire treads as well.
That's...
If you're bored, I don't want to hear it.
Drive on Lugnutz.
Welcome to Lugnutz, ladies and gentlemen. We have a fantastic show for you.
This is a Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers Media Network presentation. I am Matthew Bucaro, the Mat Man, and this is Stephen Bucaro, Big Brother. And we have a lot to get for you. What are we going to see tonight?
We have a story about a Tesla theft. Elon's genius, a 50-year-old concept, a commitment that Peugeot makes to us all. And a fascinating electric compressor from Audi.
Audi?
And a shapeshifter. We're going to talk about shapeshifters.
Okay. Shape-shifting gear shifters?
Shape-shifting cars, but that is much later.
Okay. So, obviously, we have a lot of people in with the corona, either beers or at home. And we are sharing it out to all of our like-minded wall jangers here.
I think we froze.
Did we freeze? No, we're alive on this, so that's probably just the Facebook. I'll have to check. And we're pop locking and dropping because of... Obviously, there may be some glitches and delays with the live stream today because of everybody being home and streaming on Netflix and using up the internet. So you gotta bear with us. It's gonna be a clunky podcast, but we're gonna try to get through it with you. We do have a lot of great stuff, and usually, hey, there we go. We're somewhere in there. We'll try to make it through. But this is pjnwh.com. You can go there to find all of the latest that we do. Last week's Triforce podcast, Abusing Fairies, Jedi Stuff Bitches, 107 and 106, Lugnutz, Ludicrous Speed, Crystal Butt Plug Shifter Option.
Yes, we're going to have to go to ludicrous speed today because we have a lot of stories.
And going off to the first one, what did Tesla do?
Teslas are the least likely stolen car to be stolen.
Well, yeah, because, I mean...
A Tesla theft happened, and it ended at a Tesla charging station. A thief stole a Tesla, and he got as far as the Tesla charging station where he needed to charge. The Tesla people called the police and he was caught. I mean...
You kind of had to expect that.
Yeah, you had to expect it. You could steal it up until you ran out of gas.
But I said, did you promise you weren't going to call the cops? He said yes. Your Honor, I find that a breach of contract.
Yeah, he'd counter. So what was the name of the lawyer in it was the Jim Carrey movie? Liar, liar. He'd get that guy before the whole thing.
Stanley Ipkiss.
That was
goddamn right. No, God, fuck it was.
That was a mess. That was close.
I thought I was so confident too. Fuck, I don't remember. If you remember, comment down here. But that's why you don't steal a Tesla.
Yes, and anyway, speaking of Teslas are actually rather fascinating in electric design. Apparently, people are very bored because they're all home right now because of a disease.
Yeah.
Mute this. He blathers on a little bit.
Okay, so we just finished.
So he took his Tesla apart.
Okay.
There you go. And the heat pump is apparently revolutionary. PVC design creates an exclusive heat exchange for more efficiency, especially in winter.
Okay.
It says it has heat exchange that is physically impossible.
Well, I mean, if it was physically impossible, then it could
PCB design, they created the heat pump, I suppose.
Okay.
Is saying that it is what their product is doing is physically impossible. But if it does it, it's not physically impossible. It's just really cool. Looks like a really cool heat pump to me.
Highly improbable heat engine.
Yes.
Heat pump, not engine. It's not an engine.
Well, I don't think it's impossible, but electric owners say they notice a drop in range, or I think that's voltage or something, when it's colder. So Elon added a heat pump to solve that problem.
Because anytime you're talking about electricity, you're dealing with temperatures. The extreme hot or extreme cold adds what's called impeded resistance, which is like if you're walking to the mailbox in air, or impeded resistance would be walking to the mailbox in a swimming pool.
Or motor oil.
Yes. That's impeded resistance. So adding that into the mix.
So we can stop the video.
Yeah. Oh, right. But adding that into the mix, you guys can bite it. But adding that into the mix would definitely add a bit of a wrench into the system.
So it's apparently a really cool heat pump. I wouldn't remove the front of my Tesla if I could afford one to look at the heat pump. I'd just Google it. Go to whatever this website is that I found one.
Yeah.
Just look for Tesla and you'll find it easily.
Well, what is Mercedes doing?
Mercedes' new look at the future. They have photos within. This is the new Mercedes EQS. Equus. New Mercedes Equus. Look at that steering wheel straight out of Knight Rider.
Did somebody
For those of you playing the home game, the steering wheel looks like a very, very white, futuristic version of Knight Rider without all the gauges.
Yeah, it just looks like somebody took a regular steering wheel and they ate the top half of it. And they said, oh shit, you needed the rest of this? Let me go ahead and give this to you.
Yeah.
So
they say they're going to give it 460 to 560 horsepower. I think it looks awesome.
I think my face.
I think it's never going to look like that in production.
I think my face says it all.
0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. See if there's more photos of the interior. No. A range of 435 miles. Mercedes is showing this is how the big boys do it.
Even if you have a HUD there, it's still like I'm not very sold on the heads-up display at like sunny daylight time and driving time at night.
If they can, like how it's in the sun there. I know that's a test version, but like. I need to be
they
able
can do
to,
it. I mean, the new RDXs, I'm driving around and I see the HUD during the daylight, but a HUD is distracting while you're driving to a lot of people.
Bit.
So that's my problem with it. Is I don't want you to get rid of a gauge cluster in general.
Yeah,
you should have some kind of a main dash that you can look at. You know that I know it's a concept, but I want to see.
Call me a traditionalist.
Yeah, I want to see what's going on.
Absolutely.
So, I agree with that.
0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. That sounds like astonishing speed. Next, we go into the future by going into the past. This is the Mercedes-Benz 50th anniversary of the concept car, the C111-11 or II.
When they all watch too much Back to the Future?
Oh, yeah, I think it's awesome. Click on that beautiful beam footage. I think it's an awesome looking car. I wish they would have made it. It debuted in 1970 Geneva Auto Show. Orange brush paint.
All right, that looks kind of cool.
Again, Mercedes showing Bruno Seikos designed the car.
What's with the Swiss Army car?
Yes, it has 276 horsepower to 345 horsepower. 0 to 60 in 5 seconds.
And it still looks sexy with everything closed up like that.
Absolutely.
That looks
An
good.
affordable sports concept car.
Okay.
It was a response to the 1962 Mustang by Lee Iacocca.
Okay. So
They started then.
Interesting color.
It had a V8 twin turbo.
Yeah, interesting
251 miles an hour. I think it's kind of amazing. The front of it Kind of looks like, if you remember those, what were they, Corvettes from the 90s, late 80s, where they had that sloping front.
Yeah.
And it has sort of the hood scoops from a Ford F40.
Yeah, it looks good. I just wish you had a couple different colors, because orange...
They didn't actually make it.
It's just a tacky color. I would have liked that more.
It's a very show color, and they probably painted it that so it would flash.
Even if they did red, I would approve red.
It would have been an awesome. It would have that would have been an awesome car for them to do.
Yeah.
But then again, all of their concepts are vastly more awesome than.
I love those, Lamborghini or DeLorean.
Oh yeah,
style
those
doors.
gull wing doors.
Yeah. Yeah. These headlights, the flip-up headlights,
And
I always find
pop-up headlights.
Those are kind of a problem, because when that motor goes, then...
Yeah, then you have no headlights.
Yeah, and then you can't drive your car because you'll get pulled over. Because, why? Oh, you don't have headlights.
Yes.
Or you just prop them up.
You could just prop them up. That is probably what I would do. But on a car of this value, I would have to get them fixed.
Propped up, popped up headlights.
Next, we go to a company that I forgot about for several weeks. It's not just you, it's Peugeot. Peugeot says two-door car. They're not building two-door cars because there's not enough investment. Everyone's interested in crossovers and SUVs.
Okay. Yeah.
So they just can't make any money. That car looks awesome.
It does. It looks like a really nice car.
I would expect at least a V6.
No, that's a 4-cylinder.
No, it would be awesome with a V6. I'm fantasizing here.
It
would be awesome with a reliable V6.
Yeah, but that's not what you would get. But
No, you would not. There's no more pictures of the car. They're just telling you like it is. We want to do it, but you're not going to buy it.
No, I won't. That's a very good point.
And I'm not going to buy a Peugeot because you don't sell them in this country.
You know what? You might as well just, if you have an idea like this and you know you're not going to do it, just pop up a picture. Just show us, like, hey, wouldn't this be awesome? Yeah, we're totally not going to do it because you wouldn't mind.
I like it, Isn't
it good, though? Yeah, that's a good job,
It's like that Mercedes. It's going to be a nice car to look at.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's good. They have good intentions.
Yes, good intentions is a perfect way
Nobody's talking to you, Vader.
to think about this next story.
Nobody underestimates the dark side, Lord Vader.
This next story is all about Peugeot's new GTI 208. It is a hot hatchback. They have made a commitment that in the future, the GTI will always mean gas.
Okay.
It will always be gas powered, even if the rest of them are electric. They may have electric versions, but they're committing to putting out if it has that badge for them.
It's a nice kind of...
They sell about 1,000 to 2,000.
It is a nice kind of consolation if you're a petrol head. You know, you're not sold on the electric market.
I do like the way it looks. It could be because we don't see them here, but I like it.
That'd be like an
For a
American car
hatchback,
company saying, you know what? We're always going to release a manual transmission. A solid manual transmission. We're always going to release.
That would be an excellent...
It's a nice little comfort blanket to where, hey, you want this? I'm always going to make it.
Yes, and Europe has been very good to Peugeot for the car of the year. The car of the year in Europe cost about 30,000 miles. It has a 217-mile charge. There it is.
Okay, fair enough.
In blue with some symbol on the side. It gets 217 miles per charge. It is a Peugeot 208 subcompact. Not sold in the U.S.
I hear that beat the Model 3, the Tesla.
Yeah. You heard it right below. Yes.
And the Porsche Taycan.
Yes.
And
it
BMW
says
Series
read
1.
screen now for the cars that it beat.
There we go. And the Renault Clio and the Ford
Renault
Puma
Clio.
that also aren't available in the U.S. And
BMW
journalist from
1
Motor
Series.
Magazine.
All right. Ford Puma.
That's a nice interior.
Nice interior.
Now that is a futuristic interior I can get behind. I know
Black
it's
and gray
Peugeot.
with some nice light accents.
I know
would
it's Peugeot.
probably look like that.
It's Peugeot.
In
It's something
real life.
foreign for American audiences, but if I
like
got
it.
into a car and those are my screens, absolutely.
It
I
has
can get
a
behind
big
that.
wheel thing and these pedal parts where you push and make it go.
No way.
So we could probably operate it as
So
well.
you have to drive it manually instead
It
of
looks like that
autonom-
one's an automatic, but
instead of autonomously.
yeah, we don't have that yet. If this is the future, we didn't have that at this recording for me.
Not yet.
That is the car of the year.
Okay, I
the,
understand.
The car of the year for Europe, the Jag Below, because it's a little plus mark, we're just going to look at the picture, is the car of the world
a
for
Jag.
this year, a Jag.
Okay.
So the car of the world is the one-piece Jag. One pace, I-Pace.
I-Pace? I-Pace. Probably I-Pace.
I-Pace. I-Pace, you pace, we all pace to the next story about Renault.
Okay.
Let's stay on this. A video will load here or below. This car, I think, is fascinating, not only because of those wheels. It's got a nice style to it that you don't see in a regular SUV. The video must be below. This car will change its shape.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, the front gets bigger and the back gets larger, probably for parking.
Okay.
I lost the story.
Why would you? I understand how it gets bigger, but why would it get bigger for parking? Like, why
Bigger
is
for
that
driving
popping out?
and smaller for parking.
Okay.
If you don't like a challenge, you can make it smaller.
Okay.
Wuss. If you want it to be if you want it to be as long as your car, you can
You
make
know
it
what? This
bigger,
car isn't big
or-
enough. I need a challenge.
It'll have a 249-mile range,
Yacht mode engaged, Mr. Stark. Thank you.
but for extra, they can get you 435 miles, and they will probably make you pay for it, because that's like double,
Okay.
sort of. They have a nice futuristic charging station there. It looks like a charging pad.
Definitely a different
Looks
look,
like there's no
different take on
wires,
it.
but I would imagine the wires are just not shown.
Probably not. So that's a different
Very
take
new
on it.
futuristic looking Renault, but now we go to a Ford that's for sale. This is a Ford 250 truck chop top, and it's a chop top like no other.
Out of Kentucky?
Is Rotary Rocket Engine Development Team has designed this chop top Ford. It looks like it's a car from the future.
Is it made for Oompa Loompas?
It looks like they took the Ford, they lowered it, they chopped off the top, added a. If you remember the bubble cars, or was it from the 40s?
Yeah.
It looks
the
like that,
futuristic
but
concept.
flatter.
It looks like a car from a Batman episode.
It
like
has
the
a
animated series.
Yeah, it has a 7-liter diesel engine.
Okay.
It is for sale now. It produces a whole, wait for it, 235 horsepower.
Wow.
It can be yours today for $3,000. How do you not click on a link with that picture? I mean, are there more photos below, or is that the only photo?
I mean, that's the only photo I cared to see.
Oh, there's
Oh,
9 photos.
there's
Click on those
more.
photos. They're going to show us the interior. Look at that interior. I'd call that a rustic racing interior. That's a home build if I've ever seen one. Can you imagine? It's got to be as hot as anything in there.
Oh, you mean they probably don't have HVAC? No
Yeah, well, they might have air conditioning, but I don't know how good it's going to do with that glass top. Can you imagine being in that thing for an hour?
No, they probably don't have. Those vents are probably just for show. I would imagine they probably disabled that.
They might not have done anything with the front of the car. They might have just chopped the top off and cut the back, removed the bed, and that could have been all they did, and lowering it, obviously.
We will have to wonder on that one.
But it can be yours today, and next we have a car like no other. This is a wooden Toyota Land Cruiser with moving doors and wheels.
Okay.
The windshield is not see-through, but it's kind of amazing. A lot of people nowadays are quite bored, so he made it out of wood. There's a video here of how he made it with all the pieces. Woodworking Art is the name of the video. Wood carving Toyota Land Cruiser V8 2020 new version.
Carefully sculpting each.
Shows you how he carefully sculpts each piece.
Even going into the front
Yes,
grill.
this is horrible radio. We're just watching him build the
it's
Land Cruiser, but it is a beautiful piece of craftsmanship. He stained it. He painted. Looks like he carved it. Put a lot of effort
functioning
into this.
actual parts. He's making a rear
The
hatch.
tailgate and the goes up and down. He chiseled in the grill. That is quite amazing. Go to a smaller screen if you can, so I can tell them where to find this.
Scroll to the end here. He's even doing the tire tread.
He's doing the tire treads as well.
If
you're bored, I don't want to hear it. Look what this guy did.
But that's
you too could be making beautiful artwork.
That's not standard tread for that Land Cruiser. This guy needs he needs to go back to the,
he's upgrading it. He's going for an off-road kit. Oh, look, he even added the suspension. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah, all out of wood and...
All made out of wood. This is something you have to see.
There you go, with the little chrome.
He has the lights and the chrome and everything.
Cool,
that
reflective.
is rather amazing.
That's a nice skill, a nice touch. A very nice
apparently
touch.
he does them all over, because there's another video of it. You can find this story on Motor One. It's kind of an amazing...
a niche hobby,
creation.
I would say. A very niche hobby.
A very alpha wood carving hobby. Speaking of alphas, we have a story, that one, about this alpha TZ3 Zagato 2010 is up for auction.
The nose car. Okay.
Yes, this is an alpha from the glory days, based on the Dodge Viper. It has a V10 8.4 liter engine, 600 brake horsepower. This can be yours for $700,000 if you happen to have that lying around.
Nah, I'm good.
It's a nice looking car. I wouldn't want to drive it.
Nah, I mean, I just don't like the look of that car. It looks like something.
It looks like it would be fun, a fun track day car.
It looks like
I'd like to drive it at a track.
Like an old
as long as I
40s
don't
cartoon villain should own that car.
Yeah, yeah. And it's an alpha, so he'll be easy to catch. Sorry.
And then Audi.
Yes, this is a fascinating story on Green Car Congress about Audi's new electric compressor that they have for their new Audi, the A6 and S6 and S7. 2.9 twin turbo engine. The electric engine will sharpen the response so that there's no turbo lag. They're trying to eliminate turbo lag with the
nice.
electric motor here.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating. It's kind of like a supercharger and a turbocharger.
Well, that's ultimately what I did not like about the GTI's turboed engine is the turbo lag, and
Yeah,
if
and
that's an innovative way to get rid of turbo lag.
And you
because
know who owns Audi?
you're already pre-spinning this turbine because that's where the lag comes from. It's this turbine winding up.
22% increased efficiency with 444 horsepower and 443 foot-pounds of torques crammed in there. I think it's absolutely fascinating way to
Yeah, it is.
Speed the whole system up and speed the whole engine up. It's fascinating thinking by those crafty little Germans.
Absolutely.
We love you.
Stand by that one. That was
doesn't?
good.
Next, we have a list about Buick.
Okay.
Who would have thought? Time-tested Buicks. Let's go through the list. This is a short list of 15. The Buick Roadmaster, 1950. This is, what the hell color is that? Magenta?
That's like a teal.
Teal?
Magenta's red, but it's a teal. Yeah, kind of like a teal, bluish color.
Beautiful
Yeah.
looking car.
Has the classic white wall tires, the very
Chromed up
1950s
grill.
chrome grill. with
Yeah, no fins.
Yeah, no fins, but that classic 1950s body
Beautiful.
style to it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very nice. And
Stood
then,
the test of time, the 1987 Buick GNX. These things are kind of awesome. If I remember
still
them.
looks very 1980s with it. It kind of reminds me of the other
Yeah.
cars that came
Yeah,
out in the 80s.
you know what? You'll see these
Firebirds and
Buicks.
such.
You'll see them a lot as lowriders.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
1936 Buick Century.
Still a classic car that will go
Yeah.
down in the ages. That
Which
is
you
a
look at that and
beautiful
you
looking
think,
car.
who framed Roger Rabbit?
That is kind of
With
what
the spare
what I
tire
think.
and the wheel well and the front
Oh,
fender
yeah.
and that. All right, boss, I'm hooked on. You can go on, and shooting pistols and all that mobster movie kind of.
Oh,
classic
yeah.
stuff.
The next Buick that stood the test of time is the 1966 Buick Wildcat GS. This looks like one of the cars that was in Casino.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's why it
probably
stood
was.
the test of time. Next up, we have the 1965 Buick Riviera. Man, look at that battleship.
Nice.
Angular shaped forward-facing front.
Very angular, but it's still
I like
very
it.
classic Buick front grille. Nice. That has that.
It's
mesh
not
front
like
grille.
most other Buicks you see. Let's see what
Yeah.
number 10 is. Wow. 1988 Buick
Riata.
Riata. This is like that Toyota MR2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
Looks just like
depending
an
on
MR2.
this might be. Is this more rare or less? I have to look that up.
I would imagine it's probably, more rare
It's
because
Buick,
they
so wow.
Couldn't
Something
have
that
sold
stood
much.
the test of time.
a
is
2012 Buick Regal. Wow, the GS. I did not imagine that.
when you make a
standing.
winning car, you make a winning car.
I didn't imagine a Buick Regal standing the test of time.
Get your
since
classic
2012.
today.
You had you have this on the same list as a 1930s car.
Yeah.
Like, damn, this thing
And
held up
this
since
one
2012.
is what was that? No, what number is this one? Was number
That was 9.
number 9.
So on the list out of 15, on 9 you say, yeah,
Absolutely.
give me that 2012 model.
Up next, number 8, the Buick that stood the test of time is a 1963 Buick Special. This is a beautiful car. I'd love to have
So you
one.
say, you know what? It's not quite. It's
This
a little bit
looks-
more special than the 2012. A little bit more. This one has Bluetooth, but I mean this one is special. It doesn't have Bluetooth, but it's a convertible. Look at
Yeah,
that.
it's convertible. It's classic. I think you see a lot of these as lowriders as well.
Yeah, it's a
Beautiful
little
car.
bit of a biased list here.
Number 7, the Buick that stood the test of time, is the 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1. Sounds like an anime.
Classic muscle car looking. Has the black racing stripe going down the center of the yellow body. Nice, very Charger-esque.
Beautiful muscle car.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, number 6 is a 1975 Buick Skyhawk. That looks awesome.
Yeah. Straight out of a My Cousin Vinny episode.
Absolutely. Number 5. Wow, that's
The 2007 Buick Taranza.
They say
because
this
it
did
wasn't as classic as a 75.
No.
Skyhawk.
Look at the these all
Or
say
Buick.
stood the test of time. This one says it did not.
Oh,
It's
but
just
we're gonna
hideous
put this at
looking.
5?
It's just hideous, and they'd like us to look at it. That is kind of hideous. It's just horrible, and we
I
want
don't
you to
think
look
they
at
know
it.
how a list works.
This one is not a classic either. It's the 2011. This list has suddenly gotten comical.
It did.
I thought that this was
I
going
thought
to
this
be.
was supposed to be a positive list. And
I
it was
thought-
like halfway they were like, fuck it. Here's shit that sucks.
I'll admit, when I was reading the story, I didn't go down this far. I'm like, this is great. We can say something good about Buick. Look at that. I'm so sorry, Buick. They don't like the 2011 Buick blue car, whatever that is.
And they'll give you
But I will tell you that one. That one does look
they'll
awesome.
give you a 6 out of 15 that stand the test of time. As soon as you get down to the last 5, they're like, all right, fuck this shit. Now here's the stuff.
Now
that
here's the
sucks.
stuff we don't like. That one's very bland.
And that's
Lacrosse.
the shit I don't like.
It did not work. Oh, we see this everywhere.
Oh,
Is
my
the
God.
2001 Buick LeSabre. These things don't die.
I know
They
somebody
don't
who had one.
Die
and they don't.
ever.
No, they don't.
If you want a car that
Yeah.
won't ever die, buy one of these. I've seen them around forever. I've known someone who's driven one of these
Yeah.
more than 7 years.
It's like a mole on your ass. It won't go anywhere.
And family who still have theirs when they originally
Yeah.
bought it.
And another one, the Buick
Another one that's
Cascadia.
not a classic is this is the. Whew,
Yeah.
this one is a convertible. They're going for very stylish
Looks
and
like-
hip.
It
but
looks like he tried to copy Toyota and a
Yeah,
little bit of like
yeah.
Volkswagen with the EOS, but
it's a bit
yeah,
too
no.
heavy.
No. And
Number
then,
one car. Oh,
God.
man.
Another one you see all over.
That did
Rendezvous.
not survive the 2003. The Buick Ridiculousness. That's not the name.
Rendezvous.
Yes, the Buick Ridiculousness, as I said,
But
is
yeah.
quite ridiculous.
So the last 5 on the list, they just said, fuck it. Here's that shit I don't like.
Yes,
Okay, so that didn't go as planned.
yes. Let's look at the list. Oh, let's do cars with funny names last.
Oh, there we last.
Up last, we'll have cars with funny French names, part 2. I'll go look for part 1.
Long before the XC40 Recharge.
Long before Volvo had rechargeable cars, they had this very boxy electric car in 1976. They made the Volvo XC40. This one is orange. It's very box-shaped, like you'd expect a Volvo from the 1970s.
It looks like the one Jezzer drove
This
through BBC.
Yes, and this one's a bit different. This looks like it seats 4. Holy crap. Or
4
3
what?
real humans.
4 elves?
It could be ridden up to 43 miles an hour, a distance of 112 miles, and could be operated. And you could have it then for $22 a month.
You may not have the feeling in your legs after those miles, but
It
you
wasn't-
will.
All right, like Jeremy Clarkson would not fit in this.
Maybe 4 small Asian men, not... definitely not Americans.
I hate to break it to you, we would probably fit in this rather well.
Yeah, but
It's
not
very small. I wouldn't drive it in America.
Not American.
It doesn't look safe. Look
Yeah.
at the size of those teeny tiny little wheels.
Oh, yeah. No, that looks like it's supposed to go on your tractor.
This was the concept that never could, and we're going to move on to a $22 Citroen.
22 a month.
$22 a month Citroen, because we're going for a theme of the $22 car. This is the Citroen electric vehicle. It'll go 44 miles on a charge.
It'd be better if it was $19 a
A
month.
speed of 28. It'll appear in France in June. You can get it for $6,600.
Okay.
100% electric. Oh, this is the commercial. That's an old Citroen that everybody knows. That's a classic Citroen from World War II.
And then, now they're trying to go for something different with this commercial. Electric and saving the world, and we care about you.
Yes, they care about you. Now we're going to make fun of the French. We're sorry, but I found a story with funny names, and I thought it would be nice to go through.
All right, so ending it off
This
here.
is part 2. I didn't see part 1, and I figured...
Cognat Fondre Vepun. I did not take
They
French.
forgot to add... It doesn't have a body. It's basically a frame and 3 wheels. It's the first trikey.
Looks like a steam engine.
It looks like a steam engine,
Yeah.
and it's kind of... I can't believe they have 13 photos of this thing.
Wow, I'm not going through this.
The Peugeot TP.
Partner TP.
It kind of looks like an early minivan.
I feel like they
crossover
covered that on
thing.
Top Gear.
Yeah,
I feel like they covered that one on
it's
Top
kind of
Gear.
ugly. I hope
Yeah.
it gets better soon.
The-
The Renault Kangaroo. Wow, you're never.
man.
That looks like one of those cargo vans, except
Yeah.
someone circumcised the end of it.
Although if there was a cargo van that is gonna have the name Kangaroo, that's exactly what it would look like.
Yeah, it's the Renault Chode.
The
It's a tiny
Citroen
little thing.
Jumpy
Oh.
Multispace.
Wow.
All right, I got an idea for the name of the next.
This is like a really ugly minivan.
I got a name for a new car, and you guys never listen to me. Okay,
Who
Chuck.
says the French
All
aren't
right,
funny?
just calm down, Chuck. We'll give you the next name of the car. It's gonna be called the Jumpy Multispace. Okay, whatever you want, man. We'll call it the Jumpy Multispace. Just do it. Nobody's gonna buy it anyway. Just do it.
But at least you could fit shit in the back of this one.
It does look versatile.
The other one looks like it went back to that door.
Yeah, it looks versatile at least. And the Citroen Fuckhang.
The Citroen Fuchang,
I like
it's a
Fuckhang.
little hatchback. It's yellow.
All right, guys, hop in the Fuckhang.
It's vomit yellow, and it looks like they're
Yeah.
trying very hard.
Yeah, they are trying. The Renault Versatis.
Wow, that looks like it had... That's a car with a boil. It's got a horrible boil. Poor guy.
I'll agree with it.
It's the Citroen Evasion.
Because you don't want to go anywhere near that car because you'll instantly turn into a 40s male with 5 kids. You'll turn into the old man.
But you're not... Yes. That's something.
Peugeot Bipper.
Bipper! That's like a larger version of the other one. That's just a cargo van. Okay.
The Renault Wind. Because
Wow, that's a little...
You actually, it has a
It has
little...
an open top.
It has a little chamber at the seat, and you fart into it, and
Oh.
you're propelled by methane, and
Oh.
that's how that's where they got the name, the wind, because
French leading
it's powered
technology
off
again.
of the wind,
Who would have thought?
your wind.
You guys are... You French are crafty.
Now with the power of your wind,
How many more of these things?
the Peugeot Speed Fight.
Speed Fight. It's a scooter.
That's because you're fighting through the busy streets in France.
These are probably very popular in France where parking is... Wow, the Jet Force. That's a little motorcycle.
Kind of looks like
We're getting away from cars.
like a
Let's
dune
see what
buggy.
else. Oh,
XR Picasso,
Picasso.
and it's a van.
It's
a
kind
van-
of a...
a
it
van
looks
sedan.
like it's a van sedan. Yeah.
A Vadan.
Peugeot invented the crossover.
It's a Vadan.
Yep.
Yeah, a Vadan. I like that one. Not the car. I like the name Vadan. So,
Vadan.
are you a Vadan man? Dasher Vadan man.
That's kind of... You know, as I look at it more, it's kind of what I would expect from a car called the Picasso.
Yeah, absolutely. Very abstract.
Coming up in several weeks, we have a special thing here on Lugnutz.
Absolutely. It may be next week, it may be the next. We're not rushing the process, but we have a special intro just for Lugnutz that I have cooking up with Cultist Black's James Anthony Legion. He is an amazing musician. You have been listening to his intro for all of these Lugnutz and Triforce podcasts. You've been listening to his intro. He has a special one that he's making just for us. I just have
And you did give him
I gave him two fence posts.
You gave him things that are kind of the opposite. You gave him the Allman Brothers.
Yeah. I said, okay.
Make it sound like Allman Brothers.
I want Lugnutz to sound like 1,000 horsepower from Godsmack and Allman Brothers, the theme for Top Gear that everyone knows. So just make it sound like Allman Brothers and Godsmack. That's it.
That's not too hard. We put it in
I have
the artist
all
machine.
the faith that he will succeed, and you guys will see how much faith I have in him, and it will not be misguided. So that is coming up. Another thing that is coming up is all our partnership here with Rip Studios, rip-studios.com. You can see all the stuff that Joe Paldino does for Cultist Black on their web design, as well as Tales from the Morgue. And he's worked with Ilphonic, Motigator, Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers, continues to help us out. And definitely slide on by here to my site, pjnwh.com. And you can find all our latest podcasts and actually contact us here in the gang. Find all of us on social media. Like, subscribe, and comment, and let us know what you think. And yeah, man, this is another Lugnutz podcast.
It's been another long, drawn-out Lugnutty goodbye. And we thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Join us each week here at Sunday night.
Every Sunday night.
Lugnutz.
You'll find Lugnutz. And one thing I always leave you with is, well, always, but this is the second time, it doesn't matter if you drive a Lamborghini or an El Camino. Nothing drives without Lugnutz. Thank you very much for stopping off, gang. We'll see you next week, and see you tomorrow for the Triforce. Bye-bye. And we're pop locking and dropping. Your Honor, I find that a breach of contract. What's with the Swiss Army car? Propped up, pop-up headlights. You know what? We're always going to release a manual transmission.
He's doing the tire treads as well.
That's...
If you're bored, I don't want to hear it. El Camino, that's a very specific reference.
I mean, you gotta go with it, you know?
A white one with a red stripe, perhaps? That's been sitting there forever, poor guy. I wonder what the engine's like.
Oh, God. And start recording!
Hey, what do we have this week?
This is gonna be end credits segment worthy.
Yes! This week we have a Tesla theft. Elon.
Vader! Nobody gives a fuck about the dark side or the light side right now. It's time for Lugnutz.
Think more like, what was the cartoon as a kid? No. The cars like change shape.
Oh, I thought you were about to say the car's shit, and where I
No. They got bigger or.
I don't think I want to watch that show.
I don't think it was math.
Transformers?
No, there was another.
Roll out! Optimus, do you need a minute? In a minute. Roll out in a minute.
It was electric. Do, 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 do. Copyright. Do, 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 do. Copyright.
It's okay. It's old enough.
No, I don't think so.
Isn't it?
When was the last thing? You ever seen Wonder
It's
Years?
electric.
Have you ever seen Wonder Years out? No. You know why? Copyright. They're just sitting around waiting for the music to be free.
Is that why Ben Savage can't have a decent career?
I don't know.
Our name is Lugnutz. At 30 frames per second. Live.
We are live.
Live as two babies in a carriage.
Okay.
As long as they don't have the corona.
And that's why you don't test a grenade by pulling the pin first.
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't turn out well. Would you believe it or not?
No. freaking way. Do I, Lord Vader? Do I? You can actually click right here if you want to subscribe. You can find the best video for you, or you can find more Lugnutz playlists right over here. Whatever is more convenient for you. And as always, nothing rolls without Lugnutz. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.